topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, South Florida. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where for the last 16 years, we have been bringing you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Hey, South Florida is our backyard, and we receive more letters from people in the South Florida area. You asked us to bring you an estate planning show. Actually, people wanted to know about wills and trust and elder law. And we found one of the top attorneys. I'd like to introduce you to attorney Tom Olson of Florida Senior Planning. And it doesn't matter where in Florida you are, they help you. I cannot wait to get into the show. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Steve, and all of your loyal listeners. I'm attorney Tom Olson with Florida Senior Planning, and we do assist clients throughout the state of Florida with wills, trusts, avoiding probate, how to get free in-home care for seniors, and how to protect your life savings from the costs of a nursing home.
You know, Tom, we started getting letters. This is your second show with us. We started getting letters, people going how they keep putting it off. And I know you hear this all the time. Tell people why it's so important that they don't just put this off, that even if they're in their 30s or 40s, they should be doing some type of estate planning.
Well, I agree, Steve. And we're all about making things simple, easy, inexpensive for your children when you pass away. That requires that you do some homework. You meet with an attorney. We'd be pleased to assist you at Florida Senior Planning. When we do documents for people, we do 4 basic documents: a will, a living will, a healthcare surrogate, and a financial power of attorney. Once we got those 4 documents done, then we start talking about avoiding probate. People want to avoid probate because it's expensive and it takes a long time. If we take all steps necessary to avoid probate, if we get all of your affairs exactly in order, well, that means that when you pass away, there's much less likelihood that your children are going to be arguing with each other. And Steve, that is so important these days, because when people pass away and their estates are a mess, well, the kids end up arguing with each other. Sometimes they never speak to each other again. We want to avoid that for our clients.
Hey, Tom, I guess whoever came up with the name estate planning really actually throws people off. They think, oh, I must have millions of dollars to do an estate planning, but that is just totally not true, is it?
It's not true, because of the 4 documents I just spoke of: will, living will, healthcare surrogate, financial power of attorney. The only one that's used upon your death is the will. The other 3 documents: a living will, pull the plug, healthcare surrogate, financial powers of attorney, those are all documents that are used during your lifetime. So that's critically important as well. Now, you mentioned about why somebody in their 30s might want to get their estate planning done. I would say this, that anybody that has young children, kids under the age of 21, they absolutely want to have estate planning done, because if they pass away, if they've got these young kids, you can't turn over your wealth to young kids. That would be a great situation where you'd use a revocable living trust that would state that if you pass away, the parents pass away, this money for your young kids would stay in trust. That money would be used to help them go to college, help them buy a car, help them buy a house. And then the typical trust states that they don't get that money outright and free of trust until they reach age 25, but it could be whatever age the client wants.
Tom, now, will a will actually avoid probate? Because you told me when we first met, one of your you feel like it's an obligation to you is to keep your clients out of probate.
Yeah, a lot of people are under a misconception. They tell me all the time, Tom, I need to have a will because I want to avoid probate. No, a will does not avoid probate. A will simply directs what happens to your assets when they go through probate. We're all about helping people to avoid probate. So let's start with some basics. Some types of assets, by their very nature, don't go through probate, like IRAs, 401ks, retirement accounts, life insurance. Anywhere where you get to name a beneficiary, you can assume it's not going through probate as long as you've named a primary and contingent beneficiaries on those assets. Number two, cars, boats, vehicles, they don't go through probate. Don't worry about those. Then bank accounts, checking, savings, CDs, money markets at your bank, credit union, or investment company. Those are easy to avoid probate on those if you make them POD, payable on death to your kids. If you make your bank accounts POD for your kids and you pass away, the only thing they will need to do is to show the bank or credit union or investment company your death certificate, and they will turn the money over to them, no probate required. People often say, Tom, that's great and wonderful. The only other thing I own is my home or my home in a condo at the beach. How do I avoid probate on those? Well, we have a great tool for that called a ladybird deed. It's a deed that Florida Senior Planning would prepare for you. That deed states that as long as you're alive, it is your home to do with as you please. But when you pass away, your home or beach condo would automatically go to your children. No headaches, no hassles, no probate. When we do this ladybird deed for you and you pass away, the only thing your kids need to do is record your death certificate in the public records, and that home will automatically belong to them. No probate required. So we talked about making your bank accounts POD, payable on death. Think about this, making your home POD using a ladybird deed.
Interesting. Ladybird, does that have anything to do with Ladybird?
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe people our age
President?
might remember, but President Lyndon Johnson was the first person to
Yes,
use this type of deed. He used it in favor of his wife, Lady Bird
that's
Johnson. That's
right.
how we got the name. It's been around for a long, 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 long time. And by the way, again, Steve, we are the Florida Senior Planning, and we can represent and assist clients throughout the state of Florida with their estate planning. We can now do these deeds with online notaries. So wherever you are, you can sign this Ladybird deed in the comfort of your own home using an online notary service that we arrange for you. So it could be more simple. Now, Steve, we talked about a will, but keep this in mind that if we take all steps necessary to avoid probate, what your will says does not matter because what's happening to your assets is not governed by your will. It's governed by how you made your bank accounts POD for your kids, who you named as beneficiaries on your IRAs and life insurance, and who you're leaving your home to with your ladybird deed. So again, we want to take all steps necessary to avoid probate, but a will as a backup, it's a safety net there just in case we need it.
We just got a text in. This is from Philip in Davie, Florida. He said, I'm really enjoying your show. I just found it today. I'm curious. The name of your company, your firm is Florida Senior Planning. Can you explain what elder law is to me?
Yeah, I would say elder law is a broad category that covers a lot of things, but all those things Florida Senior Planning does. Check us out, floridaseniorplanning.com. But let's start with the basics. It would include estate planning like wills, trusts, powers of attorney. But these days, it's more and more about also helping people to stay in their home. The state of Florida has a program called a waiver program. And what it's saying is that you're waiving a right to go into a nursing home. And so the state of Florida will provide people, seniors, with up to 30 hours per week of free in home care. It is meant to keep you out of a nursing home. And that's what everybody wants. So a lot of your listeners right now, they're living at home and they say, I want to stay as long as I can. I need a little bit of help. Or some of your listeners are saying, hey, I'm taking care of my parents and God bless you for doing that, but I need a little bit of help taking care of my parents. This waiver program is a great program for you. It will provide up to 30 hours per week of free in-home care, like cooking, like cleaning, bathing, medicines, taking you to doctor's appointments. And so elder law attorneys, which we are, that's one of the things that we're doing. And while we do that planning for you, if you ever had to go into a nursing home, we can protect your assets and have the state of Florida pay for that nursing home for you.
Kirby and Palm Beach Gardens. I just found your show today. Find it really interesting. My question is, I had estate planning done, but I think you should get your will changed every 2 years or 3 years. Can I use an attorney like you to look at my will versus the people who did it?
Great question. Yes, you could
It's
have
interesting.
any
Yeah.
attorney review your estate planning documents. By the way, at floridaseniorplanning.com, we offer a free review of your existing estate planning documents. We know that when you had your will or trust done, you might have gone home, stuck it in a drawer. You haven't looked at it since. So we would invite you to pull it out. floridaseniorplanning.com. We will review it for you for free. Maybe we'll tell you it's great, nothing, no changes need to be made, or maybe we'll tell you that changes need to be made. But even if you have those 4 documents, will, living will, healthcare surrogate, financial power of attorney, those may be great, but the attorney that did them for you did not talk to you about taking steps to avoid probate. So even your 4 documents may be great, but we still need to talk in terms of avoiding probate. Maybe you had a living trust done back in the day and you paid thousands and thousands of dollars for it, with the attorney telling you this is what you need to avoid probate, a revocable living trust. But remember that simply having a trust does not avoid probate. In order to avoid probate, it requires 2 things. Number 1, you've got a trust. Number 2, your trust owns your assets. So when you call us to review your trust, we're going to take a look at your home title. And often we find that you've got a trust for the purpose of avoiding probate, but your trust does not own your home. And now your home is
Mm.
going through probate unless we take steps to avoid that. Check us out, floridaseniorplanning.com. We'll do a free review of your existing will or trust documents.
That's interesting. I was going to ask you about, is probate avoid? Does can someone avoid probate on their home? And I think you just answered that. If Tom, people don't realize how expensive long-term care has gotten, and it is so important to plan now and not to wait. Correct?
Right. Steve, that is an excellent point. When we do planning for nursing homes, we do 2 types of planning, Steve. We do pre planning and we do crisis planning. So let's talk about crisis planning first. Crisis planning would be a call that we get every week, and it goes like this: Tom, my mom, she fell. She broke her hip. She went to rehab. We all thought after rehab she was going to go home, but now we realize that she's got to go into a nursing home. $14,000 a month, Tom. We need to do some planning to protect her wealth from the cost of a nursing home. So, Steve, for your listeners out there, when you're out there in the community and you're talking to your friends and family and coworkers and neighbors, and you hear these words, oh, mom is going into a nursing home. It costs $14,000 a month. Everything she's ever worked for down the drain. Nothing we can do. 5-year look back period. No. At floridaseniorplanning.com, we have all the tools we need to protect your wealth from the cost of a nursing home and get you up to 30 hours per week of free in-home care. We prefer to do what we call pre-planning. Well, pre-planning is as simple as listening to this radio show and getting informed and know that that service is available to you. You can also contact floridaseniorplanning.com. We have free booklets on how to get free in-home care for seniors and how to protect your life savings from the cost of a nursing home. We can mail those booklets to you if you contact us through floridaseniorplanning.com. We do regular workshops on how to get free in-home care for seniors and how to protect your life savings from the cost of a nursing home. And you can attend those workshops. But that's why we believe in pre-planning, Steve, so that when the time comes, if the time comes, you and your family can focus on your great health care and not on all the legalities of protecting your wealth from the cost of a nursing home.
Here's a great question. Just came in from Boynton. Millie from Boynton. I had a law firm do my estate planning. I heard you talking about the ladybird deed.
Right.
Can you talk more about that? My attorney never even mentioned that.
Okay. Well, let's start by saying this, that Florida statutes recommends an attorney fee to be equal to 3% of the value of those assets that go through probate. So if mom passes away and the only thing she owned is a $400,000 home and a $100,000 CD, well, to run those assets through probate, $500,000 in assets times 3%, that's a $15,000 attorney fee to run those through
Wow.
probate. So that attorney might very well have been thinking, yeah, I'm not going to talk about avoiding probate because someday when you pass away, I'm hoping your kids come back and see me and I can do the probate for your assets. So it's not unusual for attorneys to not talk about tools to avoid probate. But at Olson Law Group, or excuse me, floridaseniorplanning.com, we're all about helping people to avoid probate in the state of Florida for real estate purposes. A great tool is called a ladybird deed. We can use a ladybird deed to avoid probate on your home, your beach condo, your vacant lot, your commercial property. We can do this ladybird deed for you, even if you still have a mortgage on your property. So a ladybird deed is a great tool to avoid probate, and we'd be pleased to assist you at floridaseniorplanning.com. Remember, we can arrange for an online notary so you can sign it right in the comfort of your own living room. Steve?
That's one. Hey, this is kind of a good question. This is from Mark in Boca. I just found your show today, and it's amazing because I am having problems with power of attorney and my kids. It's really causing trouble on choosing somebody. What do I do?
Yeah. So remember, there are two types of powers of attorney. There's a healthcare power of attorney and there's a financial power of attorney. Both of those are critical documents. Both of those are standard procedure that we do those for all clients at floridaseniorplanning.com. Within those documents, I tell clients, look, who you appoint among your kids, it is not an award, it's not a prize, it is whichever child you think is most appropriate to make those decisions for you. Maybe you have a child who's a doctor or a nurse. They would be a great choice for the healthcare power of attorney. Maybe you've got a child who's a CPA or an accountant or a lawyer or a banker. They might be a great choice under your financial power of attorney. When you do these powers of attorney, we ask you for a first, second, and third choice. But if you've got 2 or 3 kids and you want to appoint multiple kids, if you've got 2 kids and you want to appoint both children to make healthcare or both children to take care of business for you, you certainly can. And that may take the pressure off of your texter, Steve, and say, look, I'm not going to make that decision. I'm just going to name all of my kids. Any one of my kids alone can make healthcare decisions
Yeah, that
or
would
make
work.
financial decisions for me.
Yeah, that would definitely work. I want to close. This is such an important question I'm going to ask you because of all the different areas of law, Tom, estate planning takes a certain type person, a person who's got a big heart, who really cares about people. And I find that with your law firm. But I want to take it a step further. Why should someone come to your firm?
Well, Steve, first of all, we give great service. We treat all of our clients like they were family. We work on a flat fee basis so that any client comes to see floridaseniorplanning.com. Together with that client, we will make an action plan. What is the best tools and legal documents for that client? Once we agree on that, we'll quote you a flat fee for it. By the way, we do a free initial consultation to talk about your estate planning at floridaseniorplanning.com. We can do that free initial consultation over the phone, in person, via Zoom, whatever's best for the client. Once we, at that meeting and when you're ready to hire us, we prepare drafts of your documents. We mail them to you at your home so you could look at them in your own living room. And typically about 30 days later, you're in our office signing documents or signing them online. Steve, we do great customer service. We're going to give everybody great service, especially your loyal listeners out there. We love to assist clients that are in Collier, Palm Beach, Dade County, Martin County. We have plenty of clients down there in South Florida. We'd love to take care of them. They can reach us through our website, floridaseniorplanning.com.
Well, I can tell you by looking at the YouTube numbers and by how many people want to participate in the show, this could be our top show in South Florida. Again, let's give out the phone number for Florida Senior Planning, Tom.
Yeah, they want to reach Florida Senior Planning. They can call our main number. That is 407-423-5561. Again, main number 407-423-5561. And when you call all of the lawyers in our office, we are always happy to give you a few minutes of free legal advice right over the telephone. You call a lot of firms in Florida, there's no way you're going to get through to a lawyer. Here at these Florida Senior Planning's the lawyer, floridaseniorplanning.com, the lawyers here. We will be happy to talk to you on the phone. Just call us 407-423-5561. Check out more at floridaseniorplanning.com.
Well, I'm so glad we've got you. You're just so perfect because we have an older audience and we were so lucky to get you, Tom, and your firm. Tom will be back again with us next month. Tom, have a wonderful week and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Steve, and goodbye, loyal listeners.
Thank you. That's attorney Tom Olson of Florida Senior Planning. This is going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts. Thank you, Rebel.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.